Welcome back to Forge College for another explainer. I'm really thrilled to have you here today. So, we're officially putting on our lead engineer hats. We're going to take all that fascinating theory from our last lesson, the one on transaction batching and cost efficiency strategies, and we're going to draft the ultimate blueprint for a working ERC-4337 bundler. If you've been following along in our wallets, account abstraction, and key management track, this is exactly where the rubber meets the road.
Listen, if you've ever dealt with the absolute horror of sky-high gas fees, well then you know exactly why we're here today. We need to take this utter chaos of raw incoming user operations and funnel them into a sleek, incredibly cost-efficient machine. It's all about turning a messy backlog into a beautifully orchestrated, single on-chain submission.
And here is our schematic for today. We're going to cover the grand synthesis, the minimal bundler loop, balancing the trade-offs, choosing a paymaster strategy, dynamic sizing and splitting, and finally, your implementation blueprint. Let's dive in. Section 1. The grand synthesis, putting it together.
Now you've got to remember that user operations are essentially just wishlist items. They're just requests floating out there in the ether until our champion arrives. And that champion? It's the bundler. Think of it like a high-speed factory conveyor belt. It ties together three crucial things: the user's intent, so what they actually want to happen, the paymaster's fuel, basically who's footing the bill, and the EntryPoint's shipping dock, which is where the transaction actually gets executed on-chain. Without this engine, literally nothing moves.
All right, moving to Section 2, the minimal bundler loop, engine mechanics.
Let's grab our magnifying glasses and zoom right in on the TypeScript loop that powers this whole factory. Every single bundler breaks down into three core functional steps. First, you fetch, collecting raw materials from a mempool. Second, you simulate, that's a strict QA checkpoint. And third, you submit, packing everything up and shipping it on-chain via the entry point.
But I want to pause on step 2 for a second. Simulation. You absolutely cannot skip simulation. Well, unless you genuinely enjoy the anxiety of paying massive gas fees out of your own pocket for failed transactions. Simulation is your ultimate safety net. By running the batch against a local EVM fork, you catch out-of-gas errors or failing paymaster checks before you ever touch the mainnet. It's a real game changer.
Section 3. Balancing the trade-offs. The physics.
Because it's not just about getting operations on-chain, right? It's about the physics of the system. You are constantly balancing a three-way tug-of-war here. Huge batches save incredible amounts of gas by amortizing base costs. But waiting around to build those huge batches, that increases user wait times. And worst of all, large batches create a massive blast radius. If just one bad operation triggers a revert, the whole batch fails and you've wasted precious compute. So because of this tug-of-war, you have a major design choice to make. You can choose the safe, cozy predictability of static batch sizing, say always processing exactly 16 operations at a time. It's super easy to code. Actually, scratch that. It's easy, but it definitely wastes capacity when traffic is low. Or you can engineer a dynamic batch sizing system, one that scales automatically with the backlog. It hits peak efficiency under heavy load, but man, it introduces some significant coding complexity.
Section 4. Choosing a paymaster strategy. Fuel lines.
Okay, the bundle needs gas, and the paymaster decides who is paying for it. Depending on your product's economics, you're going to need to pick a strategy. Full sponsorship, that is amazing for frictionless onboarding campaigns. Conditional sponsorship works beautifully for targeted promotions, like, say, offering free gas but only on your specific decks. And hybrid cost sharing, that's perfect when you need to balance user conversion with, keeping your protocol's treasury actually alive.
And here is an absolute pro tip for your drafting board. Pre-filter your paymaster-eligible operations early. If you wait to check paymaster conditions until the full batch is already built, your bundle is virtually guaranteed to fail simulation. Seriously, check the fuel before you pack the truck.
Section 5. Dynamic sizing and splitting. Safety valves.
So, how do we handle extreme backlogs? Well, if you go with dynamic sizing, you want a geometric growth policy. Start at a safe minimum, let's say 4 operations. When the queue spikes, double your capacity. Jump to 8, 16, 32. But firmly cap it out at a strict maximum, like 64, before it gets too dangerous to simulate reliably. And then when the queue shrinks, just have it back down. It acts as this beautiful self-regulating safety valve.
But here is the multi-million-dollar question. What happens when that nightmare scenario hits? A single bad user operation, maybe one with a bad signature or an out-of-gas internal call, threatens to blow up your perfectly sized, geometrically scaled batch. You can't just throw away 63 perfectly good operations because of one bad apple, right? The solution here is the binary splitting fallback. When a batch fails simulation, don't panic. Just recursively slice the batch in half and simulate each half. If a half fails, split it again. Keep slicing it all the way down to single operation granularity until you isolate and eject the exact bad apple, while the rest of the batch just sails through perfectly.
And finally, Section 6, your implementation blueprint next steps.
We've synthesized the theory, so it is time for actual construction. I want you to take this operational checklist right into the next module. Keep your code incredibly modular, mercilessly track metrics like gas per operation and latency. Always start with conservative defaults in small batches, and please, test exhaustively on a local EVM fork before even thinking about touching a testnet.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I'm leaving you with a thought. Which batching policy and paymaster strategy will you draft for your ultimate bundler? Jot down your chosen metrics and strategies right now, because you're for sure going to need them for our upcoming Fundamentals of Bundler Implementation lesson. This explainer was made by Forge College, and I highly recommend you visit forge.college to master more Web3 engineering concepts, dive deeper into account abstraction, and turn these blueprints into reality. I'll see you in the next one.